Good morning, La La Land. I'm Dr. Erin.
Hi, I'm Rob Mack.
And I'm Jess Moyer. Welcome to Good Morning La La Land, America's first live streaming daily talk show, coming to you live at 9 a.m. on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter.
Right, and today's all about Wealth Wednesday, so we're going to talk about how to declare your birthright of abundance with the universe, and we're going to talk with a manifestation.
Jess would say.
Exactly. You had me at manifestation, babe. Good morning, Catherine. We are so excited to have you here in the studio today. I recently listened to your podcast on Lori Harder, and you had me.
Thank you so much for having me, guys. I'm super excited, and I love to talk about all things wealth, abundance, money, manifestation, and the universe. So super excited.
You're in the right place.
To be something really long and extensive, but I found that the simpler I had it and the shorter I had it, the more effective I was, and the more I set myself up for success in the morning. So I start every single morning with gratitude. That's like a non-negotiable for me. So every single morning I wake up with my fiance and we just reflect on 5 things that we're grateful for that morning. And then I make a cup of coffee, and sometimes I'll read 10 to 15 pages of a book that inspires me, or reading Radical Self-Love by Gala Darling. I recently just met her at one of my meetups. We went to a Tony Robbins event and she happened to be there, and so I decided to give her book a spin.
Awesome.
How was the Tony Robbins event?
Oh my God, Tony Robbins, like 6 or 7 of his events now. Even went as far as signing up. That man is a huge mentor to me and a big inspiration. So it's really good stuff. If you have not been to one of his events, I'd highly, highly recommend it.
I've just seen his videos, and he has this contagious energy, right? I mean, does he really light up the room like he does on screen?
Oh my God. So the very first time that I was in a room, not just like watching Tony from a stage, but actually being in a room with him and being able to hug him and have a conversation with him, he's the same energetic man on stage as he is in person. And it's so funny because if you guys have ever seen the Netflix documentary, I'm Not Your Guru, where he basically hugs and kisses every single person that he meets, he's the same way in person. He tries to
dose of Tony Robbins in my life.
One of my best friends in high school, Billy Beck, is his personal trainer. And so I always go to Billy Beck's Instagram. Yeah, and it's mind blowing. I'm like, Billy, where are you now? What's Tony doing right now? It's crazy.
Coach.
He's Tony Robbins. Tony's doing right now. Like, it's fascinating.
His schedule is insane. No matter how cold it is or how warm it is, he just dives in.
He goes into a really freezing cold plunge, I think. He says, because he says he has like 10 minutes of like too much motivation stuff, like not enough spirituality. And when he did the documentary, I'm Not Your Guru, years ago. So I think he's always had that. I think he's been a little bit afraid to talk so much about spirituality, but now it's, everybody and their brother is like, oh, the universe is my BFF. And
it's part of our everyday conversation, mainstreaming consciousness, mindfulness, and positivity here in LA. And they're now creating a platform for people, their listeners, notifications on their phone. They want to send positivity and gratitude. It's incredible because we're all part of this movement right now.
Right. Yeah. They're all following us. No, just kidding.
No,
it's a total shift, for sure.
It's so true, Jez. The opportunity now for happiness is greater than ever, and because people are happier and feeling more disconnected than ever. So I love
Wealth Wednesday is all about true wealth. We had 3 incredible guests on the show yesterday who were sharing their gratitude about what we're doing here at Good Morning La La Land. Let's take a look.
So really excited to watch Journey and get involved and stuff. It's a great synergy.
Yeah.
Same work, different
and it's
place
exciting
out
to see everything that's happening here at Focus as well. You guys are doing great work.
We all believe, we all want to connect, and we all want to change the world.
Okay, I thank you guys for what you do too, because that's what makes the world. I also want to say you guys are amazing and inspiring. So thank you for putting this kind of content on TV. Lord knows it needs to be there. And
it's mind-blowing. We have guests all the time say, man, you guys have a dream job. And now, I'm like, yes, we do. It is a dream job. We get to talk to some of the most inspiring people in LA or visiting LA about things that truly, deeply matter. And I think people are really needing and wanting that more now than ever.
And I think there's a sign, like for me, we call it getting in the flow or whatever, but we thought it would be hard to schedule guests. Like, I got a call yesterday from PR. They're like, okay, we have the whole list of all the people that we want to get on the show. When are you available? You know, like it's been like it's getting less and less effort. I know Jasmine works so hard at so many.
Thank you for watching us, for supporting us, for encouraging us. It's been incredibly validating. We love being able to get our messages too on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube.
Right. And so speaking of Wealth Wednesday, we have a shout out. He has these notes, just so you know. I can't read in the middle of it. I love when he does that. It's so awesome. Wealth Wednesday down at Viceroy in Santa Monica.
Yep. Well, I know it's so much about energy, Erin. I think you nailed it. Like for me, I'm a huge proponent and believer that it's so contagious. And you know, the one thing that we've talked a lot about is just the ways in which our positivity is sort of having a ripple effect. And so, you know, I love the idea that sort of, you know, where energy goes, focus flows. Or where energy flows, focus goes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And speaking of abundance, I want to give a shout out. And they've sent over a bunch of necklaces. We were wearing them the other day. And just the flow.
Tapped out, and I'm in this season of transition in my life. I get this message from this style angel, Rochelle Godric, in my Instagram. And she said, you know what, I've seen your show. I've heard your conversations. I really like what you're doing. Well, would you be interested in collaborating? I was like, absolutely. So she showed up at the studio last week. How incredible I feel and how excited I am to get up and get dressed in the morning and to be able to be an opportunity for her to share what she's doing, her creativity. It's just truly incredible. It leaves me speechless.
I love the design because it's like, it's very classy, and yet it's sexy, and yet it's like business bossy, you know, like in a good way.
Oh, it's just beautiful.
Yeah,
really
gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much. So every look that I've been wearing this week on the show has been sponsored by Ms. Rochelle Godric.
Right. So just a shout out there. If you're not feeling abundant, we are knowing the truth that you are abundant. Your birthright is abundance. And if you're not feeling abundant, you're feeling stuck or whatever, we just invite you to just, you know, take a minute, breathe, get out of the house, get out of your rut, go visit people, do some service, get in a different pattern, interrupt, and because it's really just, sometimes we're stuck, you know, we all experience that at times. So knowing the truth for you today.
Never been stuck my whole life, never stuck. Just flow, 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 flow. I don't know about you.
Whatever.
Yeah, especially in traffic in LA, just flow.
I get stuck sometimes, okay?
It's all about, saying yes to the yes frequency, having fun, working out, just embracing whatever this is. Just say yes, show up, shine. That's all you gotta do.
So speaking of that, let's take a little break. When we come back, we're gonna actually talk about how to actually command and declare to the universe your birthright of abundance. So stay tuned, we'll be right back.
It was a hot week in La La Land. I'm Jasmine Moyer, co-host of Good Morning La La Land with our associate producer, Ms. Victoria Simone, and we're here to tell you all about it. On Monday, we welcomed Robbie Hayes to the studio. You've seen him on The Bachelorette, and he has a new company, Leisureletics.
What?
Hot. Tuesday, we welcomed Sean Kushner, aka Kush. Wednesday, we celebrated with Annalyn McCord and Together One Heart, freeing women from slavery. We had Focus TV family, Eden Sassoon in-house.
Namaste all day. Thanks for tuning in to This Week in La La Land. I'm Victoria Simone. Jez. Bye.
It's going to be a good morning, La La Land.
Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in to This Week in Focus. My name is Victoria Simone, producer here at Focus TV Network, America's first live streaming daily talk show network. And today I have my girl helping me out,
Jasmine Moyer, co-host of Good Morning La La Land.
So last week on the Focus TV Network, we shot Reshape with Ali Landry.
And special guest, Ross Matthews.
We had the Alyssa Goodman Show.
With the original Iron Chef herself, Kat Cora.
What? I'm so excited to announce our newest show, The Lisa Torres Show, Jeslyn, who was on Good Morning La La Land.
We had a great week full of guests, including Robbie Hayes from The Bachelorette.
Hot!
Annalyn McCord celebrating Together One Heart, and Eden Sassoon, beauty and wellness advocate.
Can I say triple hot? Thank you guys for tuning in to This Week in Focus. Jez, thanks for helping me out. Bye.
Hang on.
You want to do it again?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I know everything. That's all we could say with all the freaking lists that you gave me. Soul Reboot with Allison Charles. And I was supposed to say Ross Matthews. Fuck, I forgot. Jeslyn's so mad at me now.
no, I don't care.
Russian cabbage.
Trust, then verify.
Yes. You keep doing that. The Lisa Torres show with, do I say Lisa Torres? No. Okay. So awkward. Okay. Is it helping? You're okay with this music in the background?
No.
Alright, how long are we doing this game for? That is definitely not going in the blooper roll.
Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. We are celebrating hashtag Wealth Wednesday, and today we have a very special guest. She is the creator of the brand Manifestation Babe. Good morning.
Good morning.
So, Catherine, I'm wondering, what does true wealth mean to you?
Oh, wow. Yeah, true wealth, I think, in my opinion, doesn't just, a lot of people, when they hear the word wealth, they think of money. For me, I believe that true wealth is being wealthy in all areas of life, not just financially, but also in your relationships, in your happiness, spiritually, in your health especially. Like if you don't have your health, you'll never find wealth. I truly believe that. You've got to have your physical body in check first before you can actually get your vibration up in order to attract wealth. So definitely putting a priority there. And then just in general, just finding wealth in all areas of life is what true wealth means to me.
So
what else is to say? What else do you really need to add to that, right? It's beautiful.
No, it truly is, and it's so important to recognize self-care, because in order to really take care of the people around you, to really focus on manifesting your destiny, you have to be in a good place, like you said, right? Mm-hmm. What is the one thing you always do, no matter what, no matter how stressed out or rushed around you are? What is the one thing you always do to take care of yourself?
Yeah, for me, it's actually, there's two things actually. So for me, it's getting enough sleep. So if I don't get 7 hours of sleep at night, at least the bare minimum, then I just feel really low energy the next day. And the second thing is for me to eat clean. And for me, eating clean over the years has changed. I've tried like every single diet, every single workout program, just everything that's ever been there on the market. So whatever I feel aligned with at that time that's helping me show up to my work full out, play it life full out, feel really good, just keeping my vibration high naturally, so that, you know, because I believe that like having low energy, when you have low energy, when you feel crummy, when you eat crappy food, and when you don't get enough sleep and you're just overstimulated by too much caffeine, I just feel like you're showing up to life at a so much lower vibration, and so you end up attracting things into your life that are at a lower vibration. And so by taking care of myself, by eating well and sleeping, I've already pretty much won. Then it's a matter of just showing up the next day and applying the other principles and applying the other steps. But I just feel good in general. And so already I'm manifesting good things into my life.
So well said. I think far too often I'm vibing low and I don't realize it because I'm over caffeinated. I haven't taken time to eat. Then all of a sudden my headlight goes out. Then I get pulled over and I'm like, what is wrong with the universe? Oh, maybe I should have lunch. Like maybe then.
Basics.
Yeah, exactly. I'll get to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being here this morning with us, Catherine. We're excited to get to know more about you later in the show.
Nice. Yay. So hashtag Wealth Wednesday. I was thinking, you know, what do I really care about? What do people care about when it comes to wealth? And what do we come back to spiritual principle? And I was thinking about a conversation I had the other day, and it was about investing. And I invest in other things. The universe is giving me the sign. This is the right conversation we're supposed to have. The ambulance is driving by. So I was having this conversation about investing, and in the middle of the conversation, somehow I said, well, you know, I've always had this agreement with the universe that I'm always going to have abundance of wealth. And I thought, well, wait a second, this person's probably like, this girl's crazy, you know what I mean? Because they're not necessarily and they don't understand what I meant. So I thought, I better clarify what that means, you know? So it got me to thinking about, what does that mean exactly, to declare to the universe or have an agreement with the universe? And I think oftentimes in the spiritual world, we get, you know, our semantics are different, our words are different, but so we need to pull it back and go, okay, what does that mean exactly? So I thought we'd have that conversation. So how do we declare and have an agreement with the universe around abundance?
Yeah, I got a feeling it's not yelling it out. Because I tried that when I was younger. I'd be like,
work too.
I want this.
No, actually, it does have to do with that. So from a subconscious perspective, so when we talk about the universe, first of all, we need to declare what that is. The universe is that aspect of you that is considered your subconscious, that is connected with the subjective mind that is one with the universe and informs universal law, okay? That's a gulp kind of thing. But what it is this, is that how we inform our subconscious and in turn put universal law in motion is through emotion, it's through the feeling. Okay, so because basically that's how in dark times when we're in high emotions and we say things like, I never am gonna, love again, or I never want any money, it's the root of all evil, or whatever it is that we declare, it's the universe and your subconscious says, and so it is. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna do that, right? So if you want to declare and command your subconscious, you have to get into a state. Yelling at the universe might work, whatever it is to get into an ecstatic state. Speaking of, Tony Robbins teaches this all the time. He calls it incantations. It's the same exact work. It's basically where you get into such an excited state of such emotion, such feeling, and you command at that point in time. You say, I claim my birthright of abundance, or I declare to, be rich, or whatever that is. And it literally is imprinting at the soul level, at the subconscious level, to basically set universal law in motion.
So when did you make that declaration, Erin?
I actually think I did it at 7 years old. And I remember the exact moment. It was when my sister, I think I've told the story before, it was her birthday, and she was going off to go ice skating for her birthday. And my mom said, I can't take you, I can only afford whatever, to take 2 kids or 3 kids, I can't remember. And she had to take one of my sister's friends for her birthday. And I remember being so devastated and have such emotion. And I said, I will have money when I grow up, period, end of story. So I just remember being so sad.
That's actually very reminiscent of what Tony Robbins did, right? He had a very similar experience.
He did?
Yeah.
What?
He basically, I think when he was young, he just had an experience of, not having enough money, particularly around the holidays, and then he made a commitment that he was not going to be anything but rich and wealthy when he got older, and clearly
he had kind of an alcoholic mom, right? Isn't that?
I don't know all the details.
Remember. Yeah.
I know that he had a tough upbringing, and that led him to this place where he is now, which is just successful, happy, and helping people.
So it's interesting because, people go, well, that's a bunch of crap, and you got to go out and make it happen, and you got to do action. And like what we say is you have to pray and then move your feet. So of course, if you really truly believe it and you embody it, you're going to be taking inspired action anyway. But I beg to say that you're so powerful that I know that you guys have both experienced this. When you really declare something, the phone actually just rings without any effort. People show up without any effort, right?
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
It just happens.
Absolutely, true. I remember actually in the negative, but for me it was positive at the time, I remember declaring, I never want a corporate job again.
There you go.
Then literally, I was like, never again, I don't care. Oh, let me sleep on the beach. And literally I remember 6 months later, freaking out, oh, I kind of need money. Go try to apply. And I could not get a job for years and years and years. And, thankfully, because it allowed me to be here now. But yeah, I feel very strongly about that. I've had that experience in the positive as well. What about you, Jeslyn?
I'm still working on that. Manifestation is something that's a new concept to me. I think I was doing it maybe subconsciously without realizing it. But now that I'm trying to do it intentionally, I'm really trying to manifest and create opportunities. And just showing up and being seen and shining every single day in my life, coming to the studio, the opportunities are so abundant. Andy, our executive producer, he always says, motion creates emotion. And so I'm not even exactly sure what I'm trying to manifest, except amazing opportunities that are bigger and better than I could ever hope or plan for myself.
We're going to start doing tweets by Andy.
Yes. Give it up,
Jazz.
We're going to start doing tweets by Andy. He's got some great one-liners.
He does. He really does. So this is better than I could have ever hoped or imagined for myself. And I just expect it to keep growing and for the opportunities to keep rising, and then I can keep showing up every day and shining.
Right?
It's such a great point, Jeslyn, and I think, and we've all talked about this before, the challenge and opportunity of being really specific and clear about what you want versus being sort of more general. And I have found greater success personally being more general because I have prayed for things that I have wanted really, really, really badly, and they've often shown up, and I've been really unhappy for it. Why did I pray for that? God, I'm so sorry. I don't know what I'm doing. Clearly.
Exactly. Sometimes that clarity is not exactly the clarity you want.
No.
So I just want whatever it is that's better than I can think for myself.
Exactly. Right? Whatever that is that we call God, universe, source, the life energy that keeps the planet, Earth, rotating on its axis and revolving around the sun and keeps my lungs breathing. I want that intelligent source to manage my life for me, because clearly it's smarter than me. Okay,
yes, Amen. Exactly. I'll take the universe GPS any day
right?
over my own.
So the point is this, is be careful what you declare to the universe. And oftentimes when people are very, very sad, they start declaring all kinds of things. And oftentimes, like if you have a friend that calls up and is like, I can't do this anymore, I'm so upset. This is when you need to hold the truth for them. Be careful what you declare in this moment. Use this sadness to declare what you truly want in life. Declare your birthright of abundance, prosperity, vitality, love, and all those things. Be very careful. When you're highly, highly emotional, that's when you're informing your subconscious the most.
Oh, so beautiful, Erin. And declaring the truth can often mean, at least for me, embodying it fully. It doesn't necessarily mean speaking it, because particularly with people that are going through challenging or stressful times, you may not want to say to the person that's suicidal, wake up, you idiot, you need to get smarter about this. It might not work.
Might not do it.
Right? But so for me, that declaring the truth, which is so powerful, is really about living the truth in the way that you do, Jeslyn, like every day, where you're just showing up and really trying to embody that deep place of positivity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For sure.
Absolutely. You know who's mastered it? The manifestation babe.
She
We
has.
have a very special look at her life. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Who is the manifestation babe? She is a woman with a vision bigger than most can see. She knows she came onto this planet with a mission to raise the vibration one person, one day, one moment at a time. She knows she's limitless and can be, do, and have anything she wishes. Every single day is a brand new opportunity to create the reality of her dreams. Freedom is her truth. Prosperity is her language. Joy is her core. This is a call for all women to embrace the manifestation babe within them. Isn't it time to stop playing small? I am the manifestation babe.
I am your host and producer, Alex Worley, filming inside Focus TV's West Hollywood studio. Welcome to Empowerista, a show dedicated to highlighting female trailblazers and empowering you to turn your barriers into breakthroughs.
Hey guys, I'm Amy Papra.
And I'm Justin Walter.
And this is What's Good, the show that's dedicated to positive, uplifting stories from all over the globe.
Welcome to Good Morning La La Land. I'm Dr. Erin.
I'm Rob Mack.
And I'm Jessa Moye.
And we're making history as the first live streaming daily talk show.
This is where all kinds of shit happens.
Monday through Friday, we are going to be streaming to you live, Los Angeles, at 9 a.m. Pacific time on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Alyssa Goodman Show. So Kelly, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Alyssa. This is so fun.
I know.
What's up, Rose girls? I'm Jessica Carroll. Today we're gonna have so much fun because we have fitness personality Katie Austin.
Hey,
we're
thanks
having
for having
Rose
me on.
with
Cheers.
Katie Austin.
I love it. It
Cheers.
feels like a Saturday.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Millennial Life. I'm your host, Laura Odegaard, and today we are joined by the very beautiful former Miss California and now a TV host, Natasha Martinez. I'm so happy that you're here.
I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
You are tuning in to Slay with Rachel McCourt, and I have a fabulous guest In studio with me is Liza Glukoff. She's just been named executive producer of programming at Awesomeness TV. I mean, no big deal, but huge. Hi.
Thank you. Hi.
Are we so excited right now?
We are so excited.
I mean, we have roses, we have perfect lighting, we've got some Spa Girl vodka in case we get a little crazy.
Hey, Dr. Erin here, teaching universal law and spiritual truth, having a conscious conversation in the heart of Hollywood. And I'm honored to have the guest today, who is Christina Pascucci, who is amazing. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's an honor to be here with you. I so appreciate it.
Today on Moms Matter, we're going to talk about money, 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 something that we all struggle with and we need help with, and that's why we have the fabulous Winnie Sun, who's here with us today.
Aw, thank you.
Thank you so much. I know you've been on MSNBC and Forbes, and you are the money expert.
Hey everyone, welcome back to a new magical episode of Soul Reboot. I am your host, Allison Charles. Please welcome and meet this powerful divine queen whose name is Daphne Wayans. I am so happy to be here with you.
I'm so honored to be here.
Welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. We are honored to have Catherine Zankina. She is manifesting babe all around Bali on Monday. You're leaving to Bali, right?
So excited.
I'm so envious. Take me with you.
We all love Bali. Yeah.
The energy there is amazing, and I feel like it's a perfect place to have a spiritual retreat. So it's actually my second manifestation babe retreat. I basically take 12 women, 12 to 15 women, depending, to a villa, and basically every single day we do group sessions together, meditation, set intentions, do rituals, let go of limiting beliefs, and ending it with like a cool lantern release at the end, like what do you want to release out into the universe before you go. Just a really, really great place in general.
Oh my God, it sounds amazing.
Bali is, you know, for anybody watching that hasn't gone to Bali, it's a real magical place. Like, you can't even describe it.
It's so calm there.
Well, I don't know. I think that it's like, I believe that it's like wherever you are on your track, whatever you need to have a breakthrough around, whatever, it'll take you wherever you need to go. Sometimes people will have to detox because they need to detox.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll have a blissful thing. It depends on where they're at. Have you experienced the same thing?
I just experienced, I've always heard it's a vortex, and I just experienced just peace from the nature there, and peace from just like they have so many rituals, like they're so ritualistic, and every single morning they'll bring in these like little ceremonial kind of thing. They call it like I don't remember exactly what they call it. It's like an offering, yeah. And one is to appease the gods, and one is to appease the demons. So they put the one for the demons on the ground, and the one for the gods up. And they just have so many practices and so many rituals, and it's just so beautiful. They're really just kind people, just so kind, loving people.
Yeah, right.
Oh my God, the universe is calling me to Bali. I need to start manifesting this immediately.
You're not leaving, Jez. We need you. So the whole show is going if you're going. Just know that.
I vote yes.
So Catherine, let's start at the very beginning. Yeah. What was your journey to becoming the manifestation babe?
Oh my God. Okay, so when I was 16 years old, I came across the book, The Secret. So most people find it as a movie. My friend, it was like by divine intervention. I was at my friend's house, and we're like talking about something completely unrelated, and she just like takes this book, I swear, from under the coffee table or from behind the couch, I don't know where she pulled it from, and just hands it to me, and she's like, Catherine, this is how my grandpa has everything that he wants in life. This is how money works for him. He doesn't work for money. And I'm like 16 years old, and I'm hearing this, and I'm like, sign me up. Like, I'll take this, whatever this is. And I had no idea what it was. And I was like, I want to know the secret. What's the secret? So I went home and I read it cover to cover. And I was in school at the time, so I was like doing a little bit of studying and homework and then reading The Secret. And I ended up manifesting my very first thing within like 20 to 30 minutes, which at the time, you know, what was most important to me at the time was a good grade on a test. So I ended up manifesting that good grade. And then since then, it's been an interesting journey because I was always pushed by my parents to go to medical school, and so I was very pushed to be more logical and left-brained and study and know the facts, and you're going to be a doctor. But on the other hand, I would be so obsessed with the law of attraction. All I ever did besides read my textbooks was read the personal development books. And I basically lived in the personal development section of the Barnes & Noble. And it was just this obsession. But the thing is that I didn't really apply it, funny enough, until about 2 years ago when I found myself at this kind of my rock bottom. And it was interesting because I could apply it for like really small things. And then I did manifest some really cool travel, because travel is so important to me. And I saved every single penny working in college so that I can travel the world. So I went to Dubai and Korea and Thailand and just Europe and all these different countries. And so I was really good at manifesting travel deals. But when it came around time for me, you know, I was running an online business at the time and it was just not taking off. And I was $25,000 in debt, mainly because I decided to invest in myself at Tony Robbins. So at his event, I had this like calling to sign up for his, he calls it Mastery University, which is his Date with Destiny and Life and Wealth Mastery. And I had like no money on me, and I figured out how to basically put $1,000 deposit and then spread out the payments over like 2 years. But then all of a sudden I find myself $25,000 in debt. And as soon as that happened, and as soon as I realized like I am broke, I'm $25,000 in debt, I always had LA, like moving back to LA on my vision board. As soon as I moved back to LA, I found out that I can't really afford rent. And so I ended up on my grandma's couch, and the business that I was working so hard to build was not taking off. And I was just like, what is wrong here? Like, what, like, I know this stuff. Like, I know that life is happening for me. I know that you're supposed to think positive, and you know, I hear all these stories of people manifesting money and happiness and wealth and success and all these things, but like, why isn't it working for me? And then I realized like I am standing in my own way. So I remember having this conversation with myself literally early 2016, like around March or April 2016, and I had this conversation with myself where I was like, Catherine, enough is enough. Like, this is obviously not working. What is going to work for you? And so I turned it into a game. So I had this agreement with myself, and it changed my freaking life. I told myself that I'm going to give myself a certain period of time, and I think it was like by the end of the year or a year or 12 months, whatever the agreement was, where I'm going to pretend and act and move forward and make decisions and take risks as if law of attraction is absolutely real. It works for me. I'm going to be successful. I'm going to adopt all the beliefs that I need to. I'm going to tell myself the right stuff, and I'm going to move forward as if this is my absolute truth. And faith. I went all in.
AKA faith, right?
AKA faith. And I told myself, you know, in order to play this game, like, if by the end of the year I fall flat on my face, I end up, you know, what was worse than that, homeless? I don't know. Like, if I end up in a really bad position, well, then I was only 22 years old at the time. Well, I have my entire life. In the grand scheme of things, what is a year? It's not a big deal. So if I fall flat on my face, I can go back to the way things were. I can just be like, all right, this is all bullshit. I've been studying this for the last 8 years for no reason. It doesn't work. But if it works, you know, then, you know, I essentially win, and who knows what's going to happen. And so I turned it into an experiment. I turned it into a game. I started to do everything, like take my vision board seriously. My bedroom at the time had like goal boards, vision boards. I read every book. I took notes. I studied. I applied. I did my affirmations. I took action. I took risks. And right around this time that I decided to play this game was when I started Manifestation Babe on Instagram. It was more like an account for me to document my journey, really, and like share all of my knowledge, share inspirational quotes, but really document kind of my journey and take people along with me. And you know, as that started to grow and my life started to just blow up, you know, my coaching business started to blow up. I built a 7-figure business in under 2 years. I started traveling the world. Just like, I kept manifesting every freaking thing on my vision board. And by the end of the year, you know, obviously the game succeeded. And so now I play the game every single day, except it's not a game, it's real life.
Wow.
It's so powerful. And I love what you're saying there. It's something that I feel strongly about too, that it's something that you have to go all in on. All in. You know, because there's an expression sometimes we share, which is what you do anywhere is what you do everywhere. And so you can't just be piecemeal about it. And I love that you took that approach. When you started, though, what would you say was the toughest part to sort of get your head around?
Yeah, ignoring my current reality. And I had to keep telling myself that. Like, See, I teach responsibility, taking responsibility for your life. So when I teach people to manifest money, I always tell people, find out where you are right now and get to know your current circumstances so you know exactly what to change. Because manifesting is like using a GPS system. We have an internal GPS system that's either leading us to a direction or leading us nowhere based on the intentions that we have. Some people don't really have goals set for their lives, and so they don't really have their destination set, and they don't really know where they are. And so I say, if you have a destination, like you want to be somewhere, you want a career, you want the money, you want the success, you want the health, the whatever it is, that's like you pinpointing your destination. But if you pinpoint your destination, you need to know, the GPS needs to know where you're at right now. So you need to take responsibility for where you're at right now, know your numbers, track your, track how much money you're making, track your expenses, see where you've been unconsciously spending if you're in debt, look at your numbers, take responsibility, and start building that relationship of trust with your money again. But at the same time, once you have an idea, it's time to just ignore your reality. And so I remember telling myself consistently, ignore your current reality, ignore your current reality. It's shit right now, but one day it won't be. And so I always had my eyes on the prize, and I'd spend a lot of time visualizing and consistently just, I'd look around my reality, and at the time it sucked, but in my mind's eye, in the back of my head, I saw so much better for myself. I saw myself traveling. I saw myself, not at my 9-to-5 job that I had to get because my business just was not taking off at the time. And then I had to take a 9-to-5 job working, making like 15 bucks an hour while building, once I realized Manifestation Babe is actually something that's starting to take off. Like people are interested in it. People are following it. And so it was really like, all right, just like blinders on and focus on the prize.
So Catherine, one of, I think, the pitfalls, if you will, of the law of attraction or manifesting is, what I consider is like, if you have something you're manifesting and you haven't really done your awakening, a lot of times people will get that manifestation and they'll be unhappy. Like, oh, if I just get this much money, or if I just get the right relationship, or if I just, and then they're still not fulfilled. So I feel like manifesting without awakening is like going into a maze and you keep getting dead ends. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, I got that, but I'm still like, something's still missing here, right? And I think it's one of the pet peeves of The Secret. It's one of the pet peeves of the law of attraction. How do you deal with that? Because our world truly wants love and connection and fulfillment. And I think a lot of times people are manifesting things that they think are going to give them that can never give them that. So how do you deal with that?
So I've noticed that a lot of people will pick arbitrary numbers. When I help women, how much money do you want to make, or what is your version of success? They'll pick something so arbitrary, and it's like, okay, now why do you want it? What is its purpose? What are you going to do with it once you have it? Like, how is it going to make you feel? And so I think that it's really important to first define what is your version of success, and what are the things that are actually going to fulfill you? Like, what are you actually going to wake up every single day and be excited for? Because you can have the car and the house and all these amazing things, but you could be, providing yourself those things through a job that you absolutely hate. That's not really fulfillment. That's just like success, but not necessarily fulfillment. And Tony Robbins says a quote that really, really resonates with me. It's, success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. And I totally agree. And so I tell people, like, define what makes you happy, and finding wealth, not necessarily in the things, but also in your relationships. And also, what's the kind of relationship that'll make you happy? What's the kind of relationship with yourself that'll make you happy? What do you want your health to look like? What do you want all these different pieces of your life to look like, and what will actually make you happy? Once you define that, it's like you're looking for certain feelings. We're always after the feelings. It's not the money that we're after. It's not the car that we're after, or the image or the fame that we're after. It's the feelings of. And so is it the feelings of freedom? Is it the feelings of liberation? Is it the feelings of happiness? Is it the feelings of having a purpose? What are those feelings? And then focus on those feelings. And by focusing on those feelings, you are essentially already fulfilled. And then it doesn't really actually matter whether you get those things or not, because you're already feeling as if they're already here. And through feeling, you're already becoming a vibrational match to the things that will bring you more of those true, authentic feelings, rather than just having the thing to just have the thing. And then you are happy, and you have that reality as well.
Just love it. Absolutely true. And that's definitely, I think, been my experience. And you said it so eloquently. For folks that struggle with the action piece, because I think it's sort of this there's a sweet spot where you're focused on the feeling, and you're also wanting to take action. But as you take the action at the $15 an hour job, or at the budgeting, you get frustrated. And so you've lost the feeling as you take action, and then when you don't take action, you feel better, but then you're not taking action. So how do you work that out? You know, how do you coach people to get through that?
Yeah, I think it's really chunking it down. You know, where I get personally my action piece and how I coach people is I have my 3-step manifesting process, which step 1 is what do you want? And step 2 is who is the version of yourself who already has it? And so it's embodying that version of yourself who already has whatever it is that you want, except because you know, the physical reality isn't quite there yet. It's like, how can you think of other ways of how you can embody that version of yourself? So for instance, that version of yourself is has a certain mindset, reads certain books, hangs out with certain people, thinks a certain way, you know, practices gratitude maybe, dresses a certain way, just has a better posture, puts some makeup on, feels good about herself, loves herself. And so all of those elements, when you start to embody that version of yourself, I look at that as action too, because when you're embodying that version of yourself, all of a sudden you're shifting that energy around you. And so then more opportunities open up and more basically portals or windows to your next action piece, whatever it might be, kind of shows up. And I fully believe in inspired action. So it's not just like randomly going at anything and, you know, slaving away and hustling and working. I believe in being super intentional, setting the intention, and then just kind of like waiting for that nudge to come. Like sometimes you'll have this nudge, like I just have this like feeling that I should go here. I have this feeling that I should start this business. Like for some reason it's calling my name, or I have this feeling to make this phone call or whatever it is. And because it feels so easy and so natural and almost not like action at all, that's what I call inspired action.
It's the way I feel about women in LA. I should talk to her. And I should talk to her. And I should talk to her. You know, but it's true. It's I love that it's the sort of the organic nature of that you just sort of described. It feels effortless in a way.
Yeah.
Just beautiful. In addition to Rhonda Byrne, who you mentioned The Secret, and Tony Robbins and Abraham Hicks, I have a sense.
Yes.
Yes. What other authors do you or teachers do you love?
Dr. Wayne Dyer, for sure. I wish he was still alive because I'd love to meet that man. As well as Bob Proctor. So I remember when I was, I just started dating my fiance actually. I remember always putting on my makeup for dates back when we lived in Seattle. And I always had Bob Proctor's like 80s and 70s seminars going on, like just the old school stuff. Yeah, and just like it would take me about a week to finish it because I'd listen to it in like 20-minute increments. But you know, he was a huge shifter for me, and just understanding that we all have a divine birthright to abundance. And it took me a little while to get that into my mind, but hearing it enough times from so many different people, that's what I tell people. Like if you have a hard time believing something, go find other people who believe that and listen to them enough times and hang out with them if you can. Or, you know, when I first started, I created my little inner circle, and I tell people, like, you're the average of the 5 people I spend the most time around with. The thing is that sometimes we don't have access to those people, so how else can you access them? Podcasts, audiobooks, their content. You can take on their thought processes, their belief systems, just the way that they view life, and then if you hear it enough times through repetition, it's like it just seeps into your subconscious mind.
Oh, it's so powerful.
So
definitely believe in drowning myself in positivity.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, that's exactly what I did too. I mean, I was like, somebody else needs to think for me, or I need a brain transplant because this is impossible. It feels impossible at first.
Yeah, it
so
does.
I just love that you share that. It's such a powerful
It was
tip.
a lot of drowning for me in the beginning. Like you mentioned drowning, it was literally like I had to, whether I was in the car or doing dishes or making my bed or getting ready in the morning or just sitting on the couch and doing nothing. Like we think that we don't have time until, you know, we live in LA, so there's already all that time we spend in traffic. Instead of listening to music or just thinking and allowing your mind to wander who knows where, why not be intentional with that time, and why not just listen to an audiobook or a podcast or something that'll help you start to embody that version of yourself who already has everything.
Exactly how I was introduced to you and your work. I was in traffic on the way to the studio, listening to Lori Harder's podcast, and I heard the episode with you, and I was immediately enamored with you and your light and your work. where can people dive in to find out more about you?
Yeah, so I would tell people to go to manifestationbabe.com, and that has a link to my podcast, my books. I have freebies on there. It'll lead you to all my social medias. So that's like my hub, but my podcast is called Manifestation Babe. And really I started creating content for Manifestation Babe through my Facebook group, which now has like almost 45,000 members. And I started it by doing this series called Coffee Chat. So it was like my version of Good Morning LaLaLand, except it was just me and my coffee, literally for 30 minutes a day, every single day before I left to work, my 9 to 5 at the time. I would just hang out with my audience and I would just share wisdom and share lessons and knowledge and things that I would notice in my clients and ways to help people. And now what I do is I take that audio and just put on my podcast so people can like listen to it while they drive. They don't need the phone and to watch me on Facebook, but yeah.
And you recently just completed Rich Babe.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about it.
Yes, so Rich Babe is my 6-week money mindset mastery program where I condense 2 years of my journey of really going from broke and 25K in debt to where I am today in a 6-week program. So I literally broke it down like, okay, where did I really start? What was the first thing that I did? How did I start coaching people? You know, where do my clients typically start? 6-week process all the way to the end, and it's like it's not group coaching anymore. It's more of a course, a self-paced course, but I do like live Q&As in there as well. And if you want to just unlock financial abundance for your entire life, and really just reprogram your mind and start to view money differently. I feel like the biggest issue that people have is that their perception of money is completely distorted, and they see money through the eyes of like society and conditioning and just like old patterns that don't even make sense anymore, old ways of thinking that don't even apply anymore. And so I just help women shift that through this process, get them to start manifesting money, and then start to just witness the magic that the universe has for us.
I want to witness this magic that we're watching right now. I'm going to sign up for the 6-week Rich Babe course. You're going to have to come back. I'm going to let you know how much I've manifested for myself. And then I want to go there.
Yes.
I want to play with those monkeys. Oh my God. This is incredible. Is this one of your retreats?
It is, yes. And we're going again. The second retreat starts next Saturday, but we fly out on Monday to obviously prepare. But yeah, I'm super duper excited. The first one went so well. It was amazing. Some of the women who came, you can just tell that they're just super new to this kind of stuff, and just to watch them by the end of the week, and now they're just manifesting these incredible things. Like one of them manifested being on a TV show. She quit her job, started her business, makes a lot more money in her business than her job. Just everything just unfolded for her. One of them manifested like their soulmates. It's just beautiful to watch.
I was gonna say, was one of them you? Because I noticed you got the Beyonce in the studio today. Yeah.
Was that part of your manifestation journey? Honestly, was it?
What?
Was that part of your manifestation journey, a successful relationship?
Actually, yes. So when I went to Tony Robbins my first time, I obviously realized like, oh my God, I'm doing so many things that don't make me happy. I'm so unfulfilled. I'm in an unfulfilling relationship. And I came home. I literally I didn't even come home yet. I did this over the phone because I knew he had to be out, otherwise I would change my mind. And so I broke up with my ex-boyfriend of 6 years and just decided to just be single and just explore myself and be happy and really find out who I am and just live my life, move back to LA and just really find myself. Because I was like, okay, I can either because I was like, there's something missing. I can either figure it out at 22 or figure it out at 42. Either way, I know that this is not going anywhere. So I might as well do it right now. And literally, I broke up with him, and about a week later, my best friend told me to go on Tinder, and it was a complete joke. Like, I was just like, she's just like, because I was detoxing, it was like a post-relationship detox. I want to take care of myself. I was just super inspired to like restart my life. And it was funny because she's like, just go on Tinder, because I wasn't feeling well and I needed a distraction. She's like, you're going to laugh, you're going to have fun. It's just stupid. Let's screenshot people to each other. Let's see who's cuter, who has cuter matches. And I was like, okay. And it's funny because I matched up with I didn't know he was my fiance at the time, but I matched up with him literally that night. And then I had Tinder for basically one day, and I found him through Tinder. And it was like, and the funny thing is that 2 months before that, for some reason, I was listening to Tony Robbins, and he was like, create a list of your ideal mate, like exactly what you want, what you want them to look like, what they do for a living, how they are, how they treat your family, how they treat their own family, as many details as you can. And I was like, this is a little strange. And he's like, yeah, I know. It was like via an audio program, and he was like, even if you're in a relationship, do it anyway, just because clarity never hurts. And so I was like, okay, so I did it. And it's funny because about a week after we went on a first date, I was in the bathtub and I was listening to someone else talk about how she manifested her soulmate / husband via Tinder, and immediately that sparked like this just inspiration to like run to my room and look at that list that I wrote down 2 months ago, and it was literally him. Like every single bullet point that I wrote down was him.
He must have had a great profile. How did you know to swipe on him as soon as you saw it?
No, it was a really shitty profile. That's the thing.
Really?
I had no idea what he looked like. I had zero clue. Like his pictures were like from like years ago. He's like in the background on the mountain. It was just like, really weird was that my intuition really literally told me like, you just swiped across your future husband.
What?
And I was like, no, like not right now. Like, can we wait? Like, give me a year. Like, I just want to enjoy myself, have fun. And my intuition always told me that. And it was funny because the relationship wasn't smooth the entire time, but I kept my faith. And then we got engaged in Bali actually at my last retreat. So it was super exciting.
God. I want intuition. I want to swipe on
Yeah.
the
I was going to say, for all the non-believers out there, I'm sure intuition told you, but also that face on him probably told you, because he's, you know, he looked good under a potato sack probably, right? Yeah. It helps. So awesome. Wow. Just incredible. You know, one of the other things I think you sort of highlight there is how important it is to keep this whole manifestation thing like playful and fun, right? Doesn't magic happen?
Oh yeah, it's a fun and easy process, and I think the thing that gets us all in our own way is that we think it's this complex thing that we have to do, or like this job that we have to do, but that's really our ego, because our ego needs complexity. So sometimes success and manifestation and all these things are really simple. And that's the thing, is that it's so simple. Our ego's like, something's not right here. Like, it has to be more complex than that.
Especially, I think, with money. I think that people think, I must have to suffer for years and years and slave
it's
for
those
that
patterns
money.
that learn that we pick up from other adults and from society and from our parents. And we picked up so many things where it's like, you know, I was talking to the woman who's doing my makeup this morning, and she's like, that's so interesting, because exactly what my parents did to me, I'm now doing to my son. And it's like, yeah, we model. Each generation models the last one. We never question, like, is what they believe really the truth? Is money really the root of all evil? Is money really hard to come by? And everyone's put money on this pedestal, and I literally, like, you know, whatever we struggle with manifesting the most is really the thing we've put on the pedestal, where we think that there's special laws that apply. Like, there's a different law of attraction that applies, or there's different universal laws that apply to money, or if it's the health, or depending on what you're struggling with. Once you realize, it's like, no, it's actually the same thing. It's the same process. Like, when I help women manifest their relationships, I lead them through the money process. When I help, like the same process that I lead women to manifest money, it's like all the same thing. It just, you know, what your intention is, what you're focusing on.
One of my favorite expressions is, you know, your only problem is you're following rules that don't exist. And it's so interesting and so helpful to turn these sort of blind assumptions that we have on their head and really investigate whether or not they're working for us.
Exactly. And we will always manifest what we believe. So it's so important to understand, like, what are the belief systems that are driving us? What are the rules that we have set for ourselves? And then one day I just like realized, like, I don't see any like board in the sky or any rule book that says like Catherine Zinkina is unworthy of money. You know, like, there's nothing written out there. There's nothing that exists like that. There's no one is like stamped worthy or unworthy at birth. Like, there's just none of that. It's just it's all in our minds. And as soon as I realized that, it's like, okay, like, instead of asking, you know, why can't I start asking, why not me? And so that really shifted everything for me.
I love that. So it's Wednesday in Los Angeles. What are you and your fiance going to do? Because you guys are leaving on Monday. Is that next Monday?
Yes. So actually, I have a VIP day with a client tomorrow, which is going to be at the Huntley Hotel in Santa Monica. So we have to head and check into the hotel tonight. So we're going to go there right after this.
Super cool.
What does that mean, a VIP day?
Basically, it's like a 8 to 12 hour coaching session with me. So it's literally like a whole breakthrough day, and I use a lot of NLP there, and just really like figuring out what my clients' values are and the belief systems, and helping them uncover their patterns, and just even gaining awareness on their patterns is powerful in itself. But then I help them subconsciously clear all that and start to create space for the stuff that they to manifest into their lives. And then I finish it with a hypnosis to really lock everything in that we worked on and all their desires. So that's pretty much a VIP day.
I want to go on one of these VIP days. I'll see you at the Huntley.
Manifestation through immersion. It's an immersion course.
It is. It really
so
is.
LaLaLand, when we love it. We love everything you're up to, total alignment, and knowing that, just so needed. So needed, and I know a lot of people are like, oh, another person doing manifestation, but yes, this is what we're all
There's not enough. There's not enough.
Don't think there's too many.
We could all be doing
There's all abundant, right?
And I'm so grateful for you guys, what you guys are doing, because you're making, personal development and happiness and fulfillment more mainstream, and that's really what we need in this world.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for being here and sharing your light with us. We're Good Morning LaLaLand, America's first live streaming daily talk show, coming to you Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and now on Twitter.
Please share, comment, and like, you guys. Important to support each other, and knowing that today is the day to claim your birthright of prosperity. Have a great one, you guys.
Go manifest some stuff.
Yeah, Good Morning LaLaLand.
Oh, so excited, you guys.
Jess.
Yeah.
So good. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys so much.
We didn't even go to break.
I know. Yeah. We normally will go to break. Yeah.
Every time I had a question, you just answered it. I was like, we're in the same frequency, or she just got her story out. I couldn't even ask the question. She was like,
I was told by psychic that one of my gifts is to be able to say what people need to hear at the right time. And so it's like every time that's what happens.
That's the greatest gift. One of the greatest gifts ever.
One of my gifts is that I will say whatever that person needs to hear at the right time. Like, that's just one of my gifts. One of my little spiritual gifts.
It's a great gift.
You know what, guys, I want to take a note